Hi, this is Yoga at the Library, and I'm Lara, and this is Jenny joining today. This is a 60-minute vinyasa class. We're going to have a flow for all levels and try to get a little bit of everything incorporated into this practice, some hip work especially, and probably some shoulders and upper body. So if you will, start with me. We're going to bring the hands on the knees and just come to a comfortable seated position. And then just a little tilt back, so you're almost hinging back slightly. And then bring your shoulders back. Slight lift of the chin, so your head is resting on a headrest behind you. With your inhale, grow tall in the spine, and then exhale, close your front ribs in together. Take a couple breaths here, in and out through the nose. Maybe setting an intention for this hour. You can dedicate this practice to someone or something. And then drop your chin to your chest. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Extend through the left fingertips. So extend your left arm, reach through the fingertips. Make that arm really strong, and then lift your chin slightly so you're engaging from your ear down to your fingertips. And then chin to the chest, left ear to the left shoulder, same thing, extend through the right fingertips. And then you can just leave the hands on the knees, or you can add the arms if you like, just side to side, ear to the shoulder. Noticing any places in your neck and your traps where you're gathering up any tension, and just pause there for a moment. And then find your neutral spine, and then seated cat and cow. So going to bring the elbows back, lift your chin with an inhale, and then round your spine, bring your chin towards your chest. Inhale, anterior tilt to the pelvis, lift your chin, press your heart forward. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Sitting up once more, bring your fingertips to the ground beside you, and then inhale, arms by the ears. Exhale to the right, look up past the left arm. And then inhale, coming back to your starting point. Exhale, other side. Inhale, centering, this time twisting, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to your center, and then exhale to the left. And we'll do that twice more, so side to side, and then twisting both directions. And then as you come down to the right, press your left knee away so that you feel this into the hip flexors. Side to side. Center. Twisting to the right. And then arms up. Twisting to the left. And center. Reach to the right. Press your left knee down. Look to the ceiling. And then rise up. Over to the left. Look up past the right. And up. Twist. Look over your right shoulder. And center. Look over the left. And center. So interlace your fingers, press up through your palms, and then bring your hands back, puff your heart forward. So again, seated cat and cow. Lift your chin, look up, and then round forward. Press your hands towards the mirror, towards the front of the room. Inhale, anterior tilt to the pelvis, look to the ceiling. Exhale, round. Again, inhale, lift, and forward. Stack up tall, press your right knee down, reach to the left side, look up to the ceiling. And then centering, look to the left. Center, Float your fingertips down, spread your shoulder blades, so widen your upper back. And then from here, we're going to come into all fours. So flatten the palms, come onto your knees. Knees are under the hips. And then push the ground away. So a little protraction to the shoulder blades. And then just cat and cow like this. Inhale, heart forward. Start at the tailbone, rounding the spine. Head is heavy, chin to the chest. Inhale, forward. And round. Forward. And round. Neutral spine. Look over your right shoulder and bring your right hips towards your shoulders. So contracting the right side body. And then center over to the left, like you're wagging your tail side to side. And then rounding up once more into cat. See if you can pull your belly into your spine and keep this rounded position, slowly bringing your hips to the heels, but keep your core engaged. Make this a really slow movement. All the way down. And then with your inhale, stay around it, engaging the low belly. Come back to that cat. And exhale, hips to the heels. And inhale, round up. Exhale, back to your child's pose. Stay there. Walk your hands to the right side. Hips can shift to the left. Walk your hands over to the left side. Hips can shift to the right. Back to your center, back to your tabletop. Spread your fingers wide, curl your toes. Come up about halfway, keep your knees bent, press your belly back to your thighs. Take a breath in, exhale, and then start to straighten your legs. Bring your heels closer to the mat. Pedaling out your feet if you like. And then high up on the toes, start to press forward into plank. Bring your knees to the mat, come back to child's pose. So we'll move with the breath. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, downward dog. Big inhale, bring your knees to the mat. And then exhale, hips to the heels in child's pose. Keep moving with that breath pattern. And then the next time you find yourself in your downward dog, please stay there. Step your feet hip width apart. Press your heart back towards your knees and then engage your shoulders. So if you're like me and it's really easy to hang your shoulders back, engage, broaden your upper back, and then nod your head yes, shake your head no. Lift your chin, look to your thumbs, lift your heels, tiptoe forward into your forward fold. Maybe your hands touch the ground, maybe you're staying up a little higher. Hands to the shins. Roll your shoulders back as you lift up halfway, and then fold. Spine is long, soften your knees, reverse swan dive as you rise. Adding a lateral bend, hold on to your right wrist, step your right foot behind the left. Lengthen the right side body, look up to the ceiling. And then centering, other side, left foot behind the right, look up. And then center, lift up high. We'll cactus the arms, bring the hands back, bring your elbows back, and then inhale, arms over the head. Soften your knees as you fold all the way down. Again, halfway lifting, heart forward. Exhale, drape yourself down. Rise all the way up tall in the spine. And right wrist, right foot, look up to the ceiling. Center as you inhale. And other side. Center. Elbows wide, look up. Inhale, lift, big fold. Once more, flattening the back. Knees are soft if you need to. Exhale, folding, and rise. Right wrist, right foot. And center. Left side. Center. Lift your chest, elbows wide. Arms by the ears. And then wrap the pinkies inward. Elevate your shoulders, but bring your shoulder blades together behind you, coming into Utkatasana chair pose. Feet are going to be under the sitting bones, good. Roll your weight into your heels, then into your toes, then right in the center. Drop down a little more if you can. That looks really good. And then lift your left toes, spread your toes wide onto the mat. Keep your arms by your ears, start to lift your right knee, but keep your foot flexed. And then we're switching sides. Come back to chair, pause here, breath or two. Lift your right toes, spread them wide, lift the left knee. Both feet down, back to your chair. Bring your arms forward if your shoulders are starting to fatigue. And then dive all the way down, forward fold. Soften your knees. Big fold here, holding opposite elbow with opposite hand as you sway side to side. Coming into ragdoll. Find your center point and then again nod your head. Yes, shaking the head. No. Let everything grow heavy toward the ground. And then hands on the mat. Halfway lift. And then as you fold, step back with your right foot. Come down to your right knee. Use your left hand if you need to. Bring your heel under your knee. And then right hand under your right shoulder. Going to lift the left. Look up to your thumb. And then push the ground away, really engaging the right shoulder. Left hand outside the left foot. Bring the right hand up toward the sky. Look up to your thumb. Once again, pressing your hips forward. And then both hands on the ground. Press your hips back, half split, lifting the toes. And then if it feels good, shift your hips side to side. If you need to add cushion to your knee, you can always fold your mat, double up the mat. And then center here, we're bringing both hands to the outside of the left foot. Both hands forward, flatten your front foot, curl your back toes under, and then back to forward fold. You can tiptoe or you can hop that right foot forward. Flatten your back. Big fold here, hands to the outsides of the calves, back of the calves, and then chin to the chest. Halfway lifting. Step back with the left foot lower to your knee. Low crescent, weight is above the kneecap. Adjust this right heel if you need to. And then left hand under the left shoulder. Lift the right, broadening the chest. That side's definitely looser. Right hand outside the right foot, lift the left. Both hands down, press your hips back, lift your toes. And little movement if you want. Totally optional, just if it feels good. Centering when you're ready, bring your toes back towards the crown of the head. Bring your hands outside your right leg. Recentering, framing the front foot with the hands, roll your weight forward, tiptoe the left foot to meet the right forward fold. Halfway lifting, bring your left hand under your mouth, bend the left knee, right hand to your sacrum, roll your right shoulder back and look up to the ceiling. Switching sides, right hand under your mouth, left hand to the sacrum, look up. Centering once more, bend your knees back into chair, arms by the ears. Again, lifting your right knee, press your left foot down. Back to chair. Lift the left knee. Back to chair. Root down, rise up, inhale. Exhale, open the spine, open the chest. Inhale, arms by the ears, and then folding all the way forward. Halfway lift, and then step back to your plank. Shoulders are over the wrists, and then bring your knees to the mat. Bring your shoulders back so your heart reaches through the arms. As you come down to your belly, elbows hug into the body. And then inhale, little lift to the bottom of the ribs. Exhale, lower. Press into all fours. Curl your toes, roll back to downward dog. Pedaling out the feet once more. And then high up on the toes, rolling to plank again, nice and slow. Knees on the ground, shoulders back, heart to the ground. Little lift. Good, lowering. Fingers gripping the mat, press into all fours, and then rolling back to downward dog. Heels lift, roll forward. Knees down, heart down. Shoulders back to lift, good. And lower. All fours, pausing in downward dog again. From here, step the right foot between the hands, bring the left heel down, coming into warrior one. Bring the right hip back, keep your hips squared forward, arms by the ears. Lifting the arch of the back foot, bend into your right knee. And then bring your hands to your hips. So keep pressing into the back heel, straighten your front leg, and then bring the right hip back. So pelvis stays forward. Come down halfway, but keep your shoulders rolling back. Keep your elbows flaring wide. From this half pyramid, we're going to move in and out of warrior one to this posture. So inhale, warrior one legs, exhale, back to that halfway point. If it's available to you and it feels good, add your arms by the ears with an inhale, and then exhale, bring the arms behind you, but keep leading your chest toward the front wall. Good. Inhale, and back. Stay here. Bring your fingertips to the ground if you can. Again, adjusting your hips, little shift. Bring the right hip back. And then lift your left hand. Come into warrior two, windmilling your hands up. You're widening the feet. Again, softening the back knee, lifting the arch of the back foot. And then cartwheel your hands down, step back to plank. You can do the modification that we did before with the knees down, or you can come with me into low plank and then flip one foot at a time, coming into upward facing dog, and then again into downward dog. Couple breaths. Step the left foot forward, back heel down, warrior one on this side. So lift up out of the pelvis if you can. I don't know if you can see with this mic thing on me, but lift up, engaging below the belly button, all the way up to the crown of the head, and then bend your front knee slightly. Hands to the hips when you're ready. Straighten your front leg, square your hips forward, come down halfway. Pausing here. Drop your chin so the back of the neck stays really long. And then start to find movement, bending your front knee, lifting up with an inhale. Exhale back to that half pyramid. Left hip keeps drawing back. Good. Adding arms if you'd like, if that feels good to you. Staying here. Hands on the mat just for a moment, setting into the hips. Root down through your back heel. You can adjust the foot position and then cartwheel your hands up, warrior two. Windmill down, step back. Right into downward dog if you'd like, adding this little series of postures we call vinyasa right here if you want. And then look to your thumbs, tiptoe or jump your feet forward. Halfway lift, big fold, rise all the way up. Palms together, hands to the heart. Mountain, palms are forward. As we started our practice today, bring the shoulders back, closing the front ribs. And then sweep your arms up over the head. Big fold, exhale. Halfway lift. Step back with the right foot, this time right into warrior two. Back toes turn to the long edge of the mat. Bring your arms up. Nice. Think about bringing your ankles under your wrists, so wide stance. Flipping your front palm, reverse warrior. Bend your front knee first and lift up out of the waist, out of the hip, then reach tall, maybe to the back of the room. And then in this deep reverse warrior, we're going to bring the left arm open. So open the chest toward the ceiling, look up. And then centering. And then open again. Center. Open. Back to reverse. Keep this length through the left side body. Straighten your left leg and then start to come into triangle. Reach long through the left side. Hand comes to the ankle. Top hand to the lower back or to your sacrum, or if it's available, you can extend your right arm all the way up. Bring the top arm down. We're stepping the back foot forward, back to our forward fold. Flattening the back. Big fold here. Use your peace fingers, your first two fingers, to hold on to your big toe. And then lift up halfway, straighten the arms. As you fold, elbows wide, chin to the chest. Nodding the head, shaking the head, whatever feels good to you. And then halfway lift once more. Release the toes. Step back with your left foot, warrior two on this side. Flip your front palm. Reverse warrior. Deep bend into the front knee, strong feet, strong lower body. And then bring your right arm back, opening the chest, back to your starting point. Open. And open again. Stay long through the right side body. Start to straighten the right leg. Keep reaching, and then come into your version of triangle. Hand to the inside of the ankle, top hand to the hip, or extend it all the way to the ceiling. Spine is parallel to the mat. And you can experiment with your gaze to see how strong you are at different points in this posture. Looking up towards your thumb is eventually where we'll go. And then bring both hands down, step back into forward fold. Halfway lift, this time once more holding on to the back of the calves or ankles. Or if it's available to you and it's easy to fold, place one foot on the palm of each hand. Oh, look at you. There you go. So then rolling into the toes slightly, lift up, spread your upper back, and then as you fold, elbows wide, chin to the chest. Release one hand and then the other. Halfway lift and then jump or step back to your plank. In this plank, drop your heels to the right, side plank. Option to bring the right knee under the hip. Top hand to the lower hip, or you can extend to the sky. Recentering, and then heels to the other side, side plank. Both hands down, knees on the mat. Coming back to tabletop, we're going to come into that wagging position. So look over the right shoulder, hips to the right shoulder, constricting side body, and then flatten the back, over to the left, flatten, and then side to side. From here, sitting back into your child's pose once more. Walk the hands over to the right, and this time inch the left hand forward so the left side of the body's lengthened. Walk back through the center, over to the left, inch the right hand forward, lengthen the right side of the body. Recenter, make your way back to all fours. Spread your fingers, curl your toes, hover the knees just 1 or 2 inches off the ground. And then up and back into downward dog. So from here, walk your hands all the way back to your feet.
And then come up about halfway so that your arms can dangle without touching the mat. And then just let your upper body hang heavy. You're going to circle like you're circling maybe a silver dollar, just a small circle one direction. And then reverse the circling of the arms. And then root down through the feet, roll all the way up to standing. Back to mountain, palms are forward. Arms over the head and fold. Halfway lift, walk back to your plank. Low plank or onto the knees. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing. Lift your right leg high, bend your knee, finding three-leg dog. And then lift your chin. Look over the left shoulder. See if you can bring your toes closer to your shoulder. And then bring your knee into your chest and plank, pausing just a moment. Shoulders stay over the wrists. Right foot between the hands. Keep your back heel lifted. We're coming into high lunge. Just make sure that your feet aren't directly behind each other. Make sure you've got space so that you're not you're more like a railroad track than a balance beam. Arms by the ears. Push through the left heel. Knee over the front heel. So we're going to twist in this lunge. Some people like the prayer twist variation. I'm going to show you a modification. We're going to hook the left elbow outside the right knee. Place your hand to the right shoulder, and then right hand to your low back. Palm down on the sacrum. Yeah. If it's easy for you and you want to bring your palms together, you can. This is a little gentler into the hips. And then with the back heel off the mat, bring your left hand down to the ground. Extend your right arm to the ceiling, and then bring your right hip back. Keep pushing through the back heel. Framing the front foot with the hands, straighten your front leg. Keep your back heel off the ground. So not in a pyramid pose, in a pyramid variation. Come up onto your fingertips if you'd like. You can stay flat on the palms if you want. Maybe lift the right toes. And then flatten your front foot. Again, tiptoe or step the left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Walk your feet together so they're touching, your knees are touching, your ankles are touching, and then drop your hips. We're coming back to chair with the legs together. And then same kind of twist. Left hand to the right shoulder, left elbow outside the right knee. And then if you want that variation with the palms together, you can. This is a little gentler. We're going to drop the hips and then bring the left hip back slightly. Yeah, that looks good. And then forward folding. Move your knees if you'd like, releasing tension in the hips and the back of the legs. And then sit the hips down once more. So sit down into the chair, then find that twist again right outside the left, and then bring your right hip back so you stay in alignment. Keep the hips down below your shoulders. And then forward fold once more. Halfway lift, make your way back to your plank. Right into downward dog if you want, little vinyasa if you want. Good, into downward dog. Lifting the left leg, bend your knee, reach your toes toward your right shoulder, lift your chin, look over your shoulder. Bring your knee into your chest and plank and pause. Left foot on the ground, right heel stays lifted, high lunge on this side. Lowering down, try to get parallel with this left thigh. And then hooking the left or the right elbow outside the left knee. Keep pushing through the right heel. Keep rolling the left shoulder back. And then right hand under the shoulder. Keep rolling the left shoulder back. Pull the left hip with it. And then extend your left arm to the ceiling. Feel all of that work in opposition, broadening the chest, lengthening both legs. And then bring your top hand down. Start to straighten this left leg. Hip stays center, right heel stays lifted. Lift your left toes. Flattening the front foot. Step your right foot to meet the left. This time feet are going to be 2 fist widths apart. Hands at the shins, halfway lift. Fold as you exhale. Rise up all the way up. And then again, hold on to your right wrist, lengthen the right side of the body. And centering, lengthen the left. Centering. Hands together, coming into mountain. Close your eyes. Notice any movement in your body, even in this still posture. And then open your eyes, bring your feet a little wider than the hips. We're coming into standing camel. So, we've moved my mic here. So we're going to bring the hands behind. So interlacing the fingers, I'll go this way. And then bend your knees. So you're going to lift up tall, keep your chin down, keep bending the knees, start to lift the chest, and then use your knuckles to reach down. Gently lay your head back, nice. Keep pressing through with both feet, lengthening the front of the body. And then with your knees bent, bring your chin to your chest. Start to fold, let the hands come over the head, and then sway side to side. And then to release, bring your hands to the low back. Big bend to the knees. Rise all the way up. And with your feet wide like this, coming into ski chair. So bring the arms by the ears, and then bring your belly down to your thighs. Bring your arms behind you. And then rise all the way up. Straighten your legs. And then exhale down. Bring the hands back. Again, lifting and back. Lifting. This time right into forward fold. Flatten. Make your way to plank. Heels to the right side, plank option to come with me, knee on the mat. Some of y'all may want to lift that top leg. You can keep it down. And then recentering, make your way to the other side. Nice, Jenny. Strong, strong, strong. Both hands down. When you're ready, lower your knees to the mat, and let's come down to the belly. Stack your hands, rest on one side of your face. And then centering, bring your hands under your shoulders. Bring your elbows into the body. Shoulders back. You're going to peel up into cobra. So just a low cobra, just so you can float your hands off the ground. And And then all the way down. Stack your hands. Rest the other side of your face on your hands. This time, bring your right arm to the side, middle finger in line with the right shoulder. Left hand flat under the left shoulder, and you're going to step the left foot behind the right knee. Back to your belly, and then other side, left arm extends, right foot behind the left knee. Back to your center. Spread your fingers, come into all fours. Back to downward dog, rolling your way up. Step your feet forward so that your feet can be flat, and then out to the mat width of the mat. A little wider if you want. It's totally up to you. So press your heart back, soften your knees. If you want to add a twist, bring your left hand to your right ankle, and then look up past your right underarm. Gently pull into this right leg. And then switch sides, left hand forward, right hand to the left ankle, look under your arm. And then recenter your hands, walk your hands back to your feet once more. Big bend to the knees, hands to the hips, rise up. With your knees wide like this, feet wide, come back to that standing camel. Little wider feet, start at your pelvis, lift up, straighten your legs if that feels good. And then soften your knees, chin to the chest, start to fold forward. Sway side to side. Hands to the low back and release. Coming up. So, recentering our feet, we're going to come into a standing one leg balance. Start with the left foot on the mat. And then let's come into our stork pose and then awkward chair. So hands to the heart if you want, shoulders back. Think about that mountain alignment. Bring the right knee up. So this is option one. If you want to extend the right leg, you can. Just keep your foot engaged. Option three, arms by the ears with that leg extended. Find the one that's right for you. And then bring your right ankle above the left knee, foot is flexed, coming into awkward chair. Pressing the right knee away. Ooh, my hip's popping. Press your hips back, but try to keep your heart lifting to the thumbs. And then start to straighten your leg, shake out your feet. And then other side. Broad toes, lift the arch of the right foot, lift your left knee. Just experiment. Maybe it's different on this side. Ankle over the right knee, palms together, start to sit down. And release. Little movement to the feet. Step your left foot forward. We're going to go wide leg fold that way. You can face me if you'd rather, but whatever makes sense for you. And then hands to the hips. Lift your chest. We're going to come down halfway and then arms wide. So right out from the shoulders. Look at the mirror. Head is in line with the hips. And then Hands to the ankles, start to fold, chin to the chest. And then if you can, bring your hands to the ground. Walk your hands back towards your toes, and then maybe lift your heels. Yeah, good. Heels down. Turn your fingertips backwards to the back of the room, and then walk yourself down so you're pressing down with the elbows bent. Notice if your hips are rolling back, if your weight's in the heels. See if you can bend your knees and find that counter effort. So pulling back but keeping the legs engaged. Hands under the shoulders once more, coming up with a flat back. And let's walk both hands over to the front ankle. And then over to the one by the window. And then flattening the back once more, bring your hands to the top of the mat, step back to downward dog. And then step your right foot outside your right hand, come down to the back knee. Finding lizard. A lot of options here. Just make sure the heel is under your knee, inching the right foot forward if you want to. Some people like to curl the back toes under and lift that knee off the mat. Some people like to be down on the forearms. Just find the one that feels right on this side for this day. Wherever you are, just as we did on our bellies earlier, shoulders back, heart forward. Keep the knee over the heel. Turn your right toes to the side. Right hand inside the knee. Press your knee away to roll to the side of the foot. And then lift your chest. So pushing down into the left hand. Nice. Really nice rotation. Look over the right shoulder. Both hands forward. It feel good? We're trying to release these hips over here. And then wide leg half split. Toes coming back. So if you have any kind of sciatic pain, sometimes that is a good release. That's a good starting point for that. And then we're going to move with this. So we're going to inhale and bring the hips as far forward as you can. Bring your shoulders back, and then exhale back to that half split just a couple times. All the way back. So really finding that length in the hamstrings, lengthening the front of the left quads, lengthening the front of the body. And then stay in this half split. Maybe you can feel yourself getting a little deeper once you've worked into that mobility. And then flatten the front foot. Walk your hands under the shoulders. Curl your left toes under. Come back to downward dog. And then left foot outside the left hand. Whatever feels right on this side. Think about the upper body as much as the hips, so shoulders back, heart is forward. If you're on your forearms, keep looking past your fingertips so that you're staying long and the spine and the sternum's reaching forward. When you're ready, turn the left toes to the side. Pressing the left knee away, lift up out of the right hand, lift, push into the ground with the right hand, look over your left shoulder. and centering. Press your hips back. Was that one different? Different on that side? A little tighter. And then a few times, press the hips forward and back. Stay back. Pause here. Lengthen the lower back. Press into the left heel. Bring the toes back towards your head. And then flattening the front foot, hands under the shoulders, back to downward dog. And then step your feet together in downward dog. So heels are touching, knees are touching. Lift your heels up as high as you can, and then bring both heels to the right side. Keep your chest square, press back. This is a good thing for high intensity runners, sprinters, tennis players, feeling it in the IT bands. And then heels lift over to the left side, same thing. And step your feet into your normal position. Coming into pigeon, we're going to bring the right knee outside the right wrist, come down to the left side. So Jenny is showing you the classical posture. Going to keep the left foot straight out of the hip. I'm going to come into a modification if you're doing this at home and you want a little gentler version of this posture. Just pinwheeling the legs. And then on the fingertips, same thing, lift the chest. You can look over one shoulder and then look over the other shoulder. And then stack your hands, rest your forehead on your hands. And then start to rise up. We're going to make our way to downward dog or to tabletop if you're in pinwheel, little gentler transition. And then left knee comes outside the left wrist, down onto the right. Scoop your heart forward, look over the shoulders. And start to fold. Slowly starting to lift up. Bring the back leg forward, so just roll to the front hip. Bring your feet sitting bone distance apart and then hands behind the thighs and seated cat and cow like this. So tilting the heart forward and then rounding, posterior tilt to the pelvis. Anterior tilt, look up and rounding. And again. And rounding. Recenter. Bring your feet together. Start to walk your feet forward. As we come into forward fold, if you need to keep this bend in the knee, you can. If it's available to bring the legs straight, you can. Bring your toes back towards your chest. And we're going to start with the hands by the thighs. Shoulders back, and then start to hinge forward. Bring your hands on either side of your calves. So roll the shoulders back, tuck the chin on an inhale, and then exhale,
Deepen your fold. Take a couple breaths working into your deepest version of this. Little bend to the knee if that's helpful. And then sitting up tall, we're coming into boat. Some people can just pop right up. You can do that. Or sit up tall, bring your feet to the mat, bring your knees bent, and then hinge the upper body back. Float your feet off the ground. Shoulder blades together behind you. Good, good, good. If you want to extend the legs, you can. And then right back into our forward fold. Bring your heels to the ground, sit up tall, and then hands outside the calves or the feet. Keep your heels down. Lift your upper body. Tuck your pelvis. You're coming down onto your back. And then bring your left foot to the ground. Extend the right leg. I'm going to circle this right ankle. If you want to extend the left leg all the way on the ground, you can. You can keep it bent if you'd rather. Breath in is going to root the shoulders down, and then with your exhale, bring your shin closer to your face. And then right hand inside the right ankle, we're lowering the right foot to the side. You can keep the left knee bent but reaching to the ceiling. You can have that left leg extended but keep your hip rooted on the mat wherever you are. And then lead with your right heel coming to the midline. With your left hand to the outside of that right ankle, draw both legs over to the left side. Turn and look past the right. Recentering the hips, right foot on the ground, extend the left. Breath in, exhale, shin to the face. Slowly lowering the left foot to the side, right hip stays on the ground. Leading with the heel, come to your center, and then twist, looking over the other side. Recentering the hips. Bring your hands to the soles of the feet. Coming into happy baby, hands to the soles of the feet, and then gently rock side to side. And then all the way down onto your back. You're going to make your way into Shavasana. So at home, you guys can stay in this corpse pose with the arms by your side and your eyes closed, and just really soft breath and soft belly. And you can stay in that position for 5 to 10 minutes, but we're ending our practice here now. So with me, if you'd like, inhale, arms by the ears, and then hands to the heart. And thanks for joining us today. As always, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be at ease. Namaste.